How do you build a better self? Building a better self means improving your life, improving who you are, and improving how you feel about yourself. But right now, the person you are right now cannot sustain the work that's required to become the person that you want. What do I mean by that? Right now, your self-image is not good enough to become what you want to be. If you want to become successful in business, if you want to become an athlete, right now, if you're not fit, if you lay on the couch all day, this self-image is not able to get you to that level. So what you need to do is shed that self-image. You have to create a new self-image. That self-image that can help you reach your goals. So what should you do to create this new, better self-image? First thing is to remove your self-limiting beliefs. There's always these limiting beliefs that everybody has. That's what stunts them from their growth. You need to grow, and to grow you need to get rid of these beliefs. These beliefs are stunting your growth, they're not allowing you to grow. So how do you do that? First you have to identify these beliefs. Some of these are like, well, I don't think I can make it anyway. No matter how hard I work, I can't make it. Or like, you think money is evil. I don't want money. Money is evil, so I'm not going to work on my business. All these are self-limiting beliefs, beliefs that you've picked up throughout your life. And some of these beliefs you have to remove, because with these beliefs you won't become successful in any part of your life. If you have self-limiting beliefs against success, like successful people are bad, like people hate on them. So like you are not going to want to become successful if you have those beliefs. So you have to remove those beliefs. First you have to identify them, and then you have to start to tell yourself this is not true and adapt a new belief. Successful people are actually really nice. They help so many people, they use their money in good ways. They're not all evil. When you start thinking like that, you want to become more successful. And sometimes when people want to go to the gym, they're like, oh, I don't want to get too big. So they just don't go to the gym at all. Building muscle is not that easy. You won't just accidentally get too big. You need to work so hard to get that big. So if you want to go to the gym and get fit, you shouldn't have this limiting belief like, oh, people with muscles are bad. They go to the gym. It's not healthy actually. It might give me a heart attack. It's just not true. And these limiting beliefs that we picked up, they're stunting your growth. And your self-image right now is also stunting your growth. Who you are right now, you're this couch potato who watches TV all day and eats junk food. This version of yourself is not able to sustain the work that you need to do, like going to the gym, eating clean, to become that healthy, fit version of yourself. So how do you become this healthy, fit version of yourself? How do you create this new self-image? Well, it's by building up small habits. What do you do now? You've been building up this habit of eating junk food and watching TV for years now. So it's not easy to drop it just like that. You need to work, you need to slowly drop that habit. Because you've progressively loaded this habit and now we need to progressively deload it. What do I mean by that? Imagine you have 5 kg plates in the gym, you find these weight plates, right? And every time you do this habit, you stack one 5 kg plate on top of one. So every time you do it, you're stacking a 5 kg plate. Now imagine if I told you after like 100 days of doing this, that's 500 kilograms. Right? Imagine I told you, okay, now you have to stop this, but pick up that whole 500 kg and just throw it out. You can't do that. You've been building it up for so long. You're not strong enough to pick up that 500 kg and take it out. So what do you need to do now? You have to take one 5 kg plate, take it out, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So you slowly unload that pile of 5 kg weights. And that's how you should unload your habits as well, your bad habits. That's how you get rid of your bad habits, by slowly unloading them. Start with one meal where you eat healthy. And then after a while, after you get comfortable with that, make it 2 meals, make it 3 meals, make it once a week, twice a week, thrice a week. And slowly but surely you're unloading those plates and finally you have this diet that's so clean. And when you progressively do this, you won't even realize how fast you make progress. Like 1 month you're eating junk food all day. The next month you're only eating junk food like twice or thrice a week. And you just think like, how did I get this healthy? because you're progressively reloading it. There's not that much friction to it. When you try to do it all at once, there's so much friction you can't do it. Just like I gave the analogy with the plates, it's just not possible. And your mental health is also very important, because the reason you do all these bad habits is because your mental health is not good. Maybe you're depressed, maybe you're not having the best time in your life. And because of that, you seek these things to try to get that happiness, that fulfillment. You know, when you scroll on social media, you feel kind of happy, you feel pleasurable. Scrolling on social media is pleasurable. When you do that, you feel kind of nice. Right? Even if you're having a bad day, if you're kind of depressed, when you scroll on social media, you feel a little bit better. So that's what we all resort to. That's what you resort to when you feel down. But when you do that, what you don't realize, in the short term you're gaining pleasure, you're feeling better. But in the long term, you're going to get even more depressed. That's because how the dopamine system works, right? When our dopamine is low, our level of dopamine in our body, and if it's low, we have bad mood, we have depression, we have no motivation. And that's why so many people resort to doing bad habits, because when their dopamine level is low, they want to get it up so that they can feel happy and they can feel better. So what you do is go scroll on social media. So dopamine level goes up and up and up, the more and more you scroll. Right? But the more you scroll, like after you're done scrolling, your dopamine levels drop. They drop below where it was before you started scrolling. So now you have this deficit. And to take care of that deficit, you do even more of it. You scroll even more. And when you do that, and you eat junk food to get that dopamine up, you do all these things just to get your dopamine up. And your whole life starts getting ruled with this dopamine. It's just controlling you. Because you keep seeking it out, you keep falling into this deficit. So what do you do now? Now you have to start experiencing pain. Just like when we have a peak leads to a fall, when we have a drop in dopamine first, it will lead to a rise. So when we go to the gym, our dopamine levels go lower because we don't enjoy it. Maybe you don't enjoy going to the gym. So dopamine levels will drop. But after a while, after you're done going to the gym, your dopamine levels slowly rise above the level at which it was before. So in the short term, you feel that pain and discomfort, but in the long term, you feel better. You have better mood, more motivation. You just feel better. Your life feels better. And that's what we need to do. We need to focus on these kind of activities, these kind of habits, these delayed gratification habits, which for now we experience that discomfort and pain, but later we get pleasure from it. Now we need to replace those bad habits with good habits. So how do we do that? Just like we progressively unloaded those bad habits, we have to progressively load good habits. Because you can't just drop a bad habit and just leave yourself with free time, right? You have to replace it with a good habit. Replace video games with going to the gym. Replace eating junk food with eating clean. But you got to replace these habits, and you have to stop snacking, and maybe you got to do something else. Right? You got to replace these habits, only then will it stick. So now you have to focus on creating better habits for yourself, good habits for yourself. Now you have to slowly load. You're going to slowly load them, because if we try to load them all at once, like a lot of people, they want to start going to the gym 6 times a week. Like when they're a couch potato, they lie on the couch all day watching TV. They expect to be able to go 6 times a week consistently every week. That's just not how it works. You have to slowly start to load it every single day. All you have to do to start, maybe just 10 push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, do like 10 knee push-ups or 10 wall push-ups. Any sort of exercise, you start doing small exercises every single day. Slowly you will start to build this momentum, and you start to build this new self-image. When you do these small habits, your brain starts to understand, okay, he's becoming healthy. Now he's healthy, he's someone who exercises. So your brain is more likely to push you towards that route of exercise, because you're changing your self-image. How did your current self-image come about? It's because of all the years of eating junk food and watching TV. Your brain has cemented the idea that you are someone who watches TV and eats junk food. So that has become your self-image now. But to change it, you have to slowly add these new habits that change your self-image. And don't try to do it all at once, like going to the gym or eating clean, because you will just fail and you'll give up. Maybe you've tried it before and you just failed and you just given up. I'm telling you, this is the way. It takes time, nothing comes overnight. People are so impatient, that's why they want to start doing these big good habits like in the start. Like going to the gym 6 times a week. They just set that goal for themselves. But you are not at that level yet. The self-image you have right now cannot sustain that. You have to change your self-image by doing these small habits. Right? And then slowly unloading your bad habits and slowly loading your good habits. And this just builds your self-image up, like from brick to brick. And this builds your foundation. And when you have a strong foundation like this, as you know, before you build a house, you have to build a foundation. And to build a foundation takes time. And when you take that time to build that strong foundation, the structure on top is strong. So if you want to become this person who goes to the gym 6 times a week, you're fit, you're healthy, you're really healthy, and your diet is really good, and you want to become this new, better version of yourself, you need to have this strong foundation. The foundation you have right now is pretty weak. You can't build anything on top of it because it will just collapse. So you have to start building this new foundation. So you take out this foundation and build a new one. And with this new strong foundation, with a better self-image, you will be able to build a better structure, a stronger structure. And you have to try to find out, to remove your bad habits, what you're trying to replace. Video games are usually trying to replace the feeling of like having fun, like competing with other people. So maybe try to replace that with sports. Maybe go play football like a few times a week with some people that you know. Maybe join a local football team. Like the competitiveness of video games, that's what you want to replace that feeling of competitiveness in the real world, like playing sports. So you need to find what you're trying to replace with these bad habits. And you have to now change that. You have to replace it with good habits that fulfill that same need. So you have to go out and like find what's wrong with that habit, what you're trying to replace, what feeling you miss. And surely you will build a better self with these things. Building better habits, improving your mental health. Improving your mental health is like the main part. Because if you have bad mental health, we just do all these bad habits because we want to feel better. And it just ends up making us feel worse. And the hardest part is like when we are depressed, when someone is depressed, they want to get out of it. They want to start going to the gym, they want to improve themselves. But what I see a lot of people doing is just trying to go in all at once on this good habit that they want to do. And they just fail. Because when you're depressed, that self-image that you have is not, that foundation you have, it's too weak to support that good habit that you're building. The first thing you have to do is start small. Build brick by brick, slowly start doing that good habit. And replace the bad habits, unload the bad habits, build a better self-image, and you will create a better self, undoubtedly. I've been doing that for the past 2 years. I was someone who used to play video games always, scroll on Instagram, watch TV shows for 8 hours a day. I had screen time from morning till night. I used to just watch TV shows like continuously, like most teenagers do. But thankfully, I found a YouTuber named Hamza, and he taught me what I'm teaching you right now. Slowly but surely, I've become this person who reads books. I don't watch TV shows. I went for a run yesterday for the first time. That's a huge accomplishment for me. Like, a huge accomplishment for me. I would have never done that before, but because I've built up this level of self-image, I'm able to do it. I'm able to sit here and record this video because I want to share what I've learned, this journey that I've been on. So building this better self is a slow process. It's a journey. But when you get to these levels where You have got past the trenches of like getting rid of your bad habits, just trying to incorporate these good habits into your life, changing your self-image. Like when you get to this point, you just feel so happy. You never want to go back. You never want to go back. Why would you ever want to go back? When you improve your mental health, your self-image, you start building good habits. You never want to go back to that life. At that moment, it might seem pleasurable to go and watch TV shows and scroll on social media. But in the long term, just look at where I am right now and where you could be. There's no need to distract yourself from the pain of this world. All you need to do is just try to build a better self slowly. And if you follow this, you will build a better self and you will be so thankful for it. Remember, your future self does not want to live like that right now. He does not want to live in depression. Don't make your future self hate you. If you do the bad habits right now, and your future self will have to bear the consequences, he's going to hate you. He's going to think, why the hell did my future self watch the reels for 5-6 hours a day? Why did he watch TV shows for so long? Why couldn't he just go to the gym? But if you start doing these good habits like getting healthy, eating clean, your future self will be so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for my younger self because he did the work. He went to the gym, he ate clean, he unloaded his habits, he loaded his good habits, and slowly this is what I've become only because of my younger self. I'm so grateful for it. At this moment, if I was just lying on my couch watching TV shows, I wouldn't be grateful for my younger self. I'd be thinking, why did he even do this? Like, couldn't he just go to the gym? Just eat clean. This for his pleasure, he sacrificed my life. You're sacrificing your future self's life because you want pleasure right now. Always look towards delayed gratification, not instant gratification. Instant gratification will ruin your life. Delayed gratification will improve your life for the better.